Today we're making Trey's Leche Cake, which is 3 milk cake, and this is how we start the cake part of this. We're going to take a stick of butter, so a half a cup of butter, and we're going to cream that together with a cup of sugar. I'm going to use my little KitchenAid for this one, and it's a really quick cake recipe. I'll show you how. Okay, when it's nice and fluffy, then we're going to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're going to add 5 eggs. Alright, to that mixture we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and we're going to gradually add 1.5 cups of flour. The result is we get a very smooth and thick cake batter. And now we're going to bake it. I greased a 9 by 13 pan, and we're just going to pour the batter into the pan. We don't want to miss one bit of this cake because this is going to be delicious. Spread it out nicely so it bakes evenly. You can see it's a little bit thicker than some cake recipes that you might make, but the reason for that is we're going to add quite a bit of milk. Okay, let's get it in the oven. I've been preheating my Go Wise toaster oven for this. So I'm going to put it in at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Make sure it's nice and golden brown, and we'll be back. Alright, the cake is finished baking. Take a look. How nice. Wow. Okay, we're going to get that out. Doesn't that cake look nice? Golden brown. Just right. We're going to get it out and let it cool before we do the next step. Beautiful. Smells so good in here. Smells like vanilla. Smells so good in here. It smells like vanilla. Okay, here's what I call the really fun part. The cake is cooled off and it's nice and firm. I'm going to take a fork and we're going to poke holes in the cake. Everywhere that you poke a hole is going to give an opportunity for the tres leche, 3 milks, to go into the holes of the cake. Now you can see it's a pretty firm cake. I told you it would be a little bit on the dry side compared to, it's not a real moist cake. Okay, so we're gonna put plenty of holes in this cake, because everywhere there's a hole, there's an opportunity for the 3 milks, the tres leche, to sink into the cake. All right, we want lots of nice little holes. Alright, looks like this when we're done piercing it. I don't know if you can see the holes on the camera, but let's mix up the milk. We're using 3 beautiful milks here. We have 2 cups of whole milk. We have a 12-ounce can of carnation milk. This is condensed milk, evaporated milk. And we have sweetened condensed milk, Eagle brand. And this is a 14-ounce can. We're going to add this. It's nice and thick and sweet. I'm just going to make sure we get all the sweetness out of this can. And we're going to mix them up. Very easy to do. Now my YouTube friend Susan is the person who asked me to make this cake for Cinco de Mayo, and it's been a busy week, Susan, but here you go. I wish I could give you a bite of this over the internet. Alright, now we're just going to pour this large amount of milk over this little cake. And as we pour it, it's going to start sinking into the holes and softening up. It's like a sponge. And I'm going to use about a half a cup of sugar. In this case, I'm using the super fine. I have this available, and I think it goes nice into the whipping cream because the crystals aren't so large. But you can use regular Domino white sugar. We're going to start whipping the cream and gradually add some of the sugar. As the whipped cream starts getting a little thicker, add a little more. All right, now I didn't mention it, but on my KitchenAid hand mixer, I just switched the beaters to the whisk. And look how easily that made some nice fresh whipped cream. All right. Now this is such a nice way to top this tres leche cake. So let's spread it out. Okay, now the cake still has some milk. I just want to press on it here. You can see it has absorbed so much of the milk like a sponge, but there's still some of the nice thick milk around the sides that we're going to serve with this on the plate. Now let's take the nice whipping cream and spread this out. Good thing it's nice and soft. When you get out to the edges, if you go over the milk, it'll start to dilute the cream, so keep it mostly on the cake if you can. Beautiful. This was such a nice idea. And then we're just going to make little peaks that are very soft but pretty on this cake. Alright, let's cut a piece. And when you serve this, you'll see the first piece is always the hardest, of course, but I want you to see how moist it is inside. See how all the milk has absorbed into the cake? And you can top that with a strawberry or a blueberry, but I've talked to a few people this week who love to eat this cake, and someone told me they add a little bit of apricot preserves on top. And I think that's a nice touch. I hope you get to try this beautiful cake for Cinco de Mayo, or try it any day of the week. It's a nice treat. It's such a nice treat, I'm going to have a taste. Now when you serve this, also take some of this nice sweet milk inside the pan and serve it around the outsides of the cake. And you can dip your cake in it while you're eating it. Look at that moist, delicious cake. Little apricot on top. Oh my God. If you're having a celebration for Cinco de Mayo today, this would be a nice way to top it off. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you, Susan, for the great idea.